Hi everybody. Alright, happy Saturday. In this video we're doing it. So the mold that we made off the canopy is here. You can see all the cardboard holding it up strong. We've got all of our materials pre-cut. We're just going through. You can see I'm prepping the pump. We'll go over some foibles of that damn pump in a bit. Cleaning the table, making sure everything is good, right? So, doing composite layups is a multi-stage process, and so you want to have everything ready to go. It's so much easier if just everything is pre-cut, everything is good, right? Think about a long international flight, right? You're at JFK, you're flying to Tokyo, right? You're getting ready to line up on that runway for a 15-hour flight. You better make sure everything is in order. Okay, so like I said, everything is pre-cut. We're getting ready to go. The only thing we'll talk about, so it's just a normal layup, just like you've seen me do before. The new thing is you see that blue film I'm sort of playing with right there. That is a high release film that's normally used in resin infusion. We're using it here because even though I've been using release mold or mold release wax, here's the problem with like sheet metal and everything else. You would think because you've got a smooth material here that even, if you used enough release wax that the part would come off clean and there's no way that any resin would stick to that metal. Well, you'd be wrong. Right? It does. Even if you do everything right, there's nothing really holding all of the resin together, right? If there's a tiny little scratch in that surface, and trust me, like that brushed steel table that I use, that thing is nothing but giant scratches all over it. Well, tiny scratches, right? Enough tiny scratches across the whole surface and it looks polished, and that's what that is. So I use mold release wax, but it just doesn't quite work. And so one little spot, some resin will just stick to the table. Anyway, that release film is a good way. Nothing sticks to that. No, wet resin will stick to it, but once it's cured, it does not. It releases completely. Which we will actually be trading and using PVA in the future. So that will be the future of that, which I'll talk about later. Basically, just making cleaner parts. All right, so we're making sure everything is good. And once we start cutting, we will start laying up, which is the normal layup you've seen me do before. So let's do some Q&A. We got a lot of those. Okay. Let's go in reverse chronological order because some of these are funny. Well, this person I assume doesn't speak English. Please, sir, the empennage of the helicopter, it is the same of the plane, ? No, helicopters have rotors in the back that push against the torque of the main blades. You ever want to see something that looks actually terrifying? Google a helicopter with a broken rotor. What kind of resin are you planning on using? So I'm just using plain old West Systems boat resin. Well, it's epoxy resin. 5-to-1, actually. Their 5-to-1 system's pretty good, and I use a slow hardener. Look, I'm not making wing spars here. I'm just making nice, convenient weight-saving parts. One day, if we start doing structural stuff, yeah, I'll be using aerospace resin. Alright, Scott asks about drilling the acrylic. Andrew, did you use a normal number 40 bit when drilling the holes? ? I see some guys back grinding bits to make them pointier, and virtually no one has had success with plexiglass bits. Alright, so yes, I grind bits, but what I do is I don't grind the very center, like the last millimeter of the center. I leave that unground. That way it gets a little bit of bite. That combined with my cutting fluid of baking soda and rubbing alcohol really works. Alright, Rick asks, could you comment on the inspection stages? We don't have those in America. We'll let you build a plane in a complete isolation. In Canada, you can't close up a section unless it's been inspected. Here, we don't have that. Although I do have a lot of A&Ps, and they're always coming by, and other home builders that are like, yeah, you should probably do this or that. So I am constantly getting my stuff reviewed, which is nice. All right, Thomas asks, where did you get that vacuum chamber? That is a crappy HVAC vacuum you can buy off of Amazon for like $40. Basically, in real life, those things are run for like 5-10 minutes to get air and water out of HVAC systems, which will cause them to run less efficiently and just be dirty and crap. They're not meant to run for 6 hours, which is something I'm learning now. It really does suck. Let's see. Rick, oh, here we go. Mike. Mike asks, Andrew, when you get your engine, will you do a special segment and show it to us right away? Yes. Engine update. Let's see. It's been almost 5 weeks since I was told it was 2 weeks. I don't have the heart to send another email, but I will next week. So we'll see. Just keep those fingers crossed. All right, so we're almost done with the layup. So you can see all the cloth layers are on, the peel ply is on, now the breather cloth is on, and now we're finding a spot to put our suction point. We actually have 2 points that we're putting in. One's a suction point and one is a backup vacuum. So the vacuum gauge itself, so we have a vacuum gauge, as you can see, on the vacuum chamber at the other end of the table, which is fine. It shows the vacuum at the vacuum chamber. However, that's not necessarily the same as the vacuum at the part. So, got a little vacuum gauge, and we've hooked it up here. That way we can regulate it just right. So we will be pumping this out for about 5 hours at a 20% vacuum. And that will give us some really good results, which I will show you in the next video. So I hope everyone has a great weekend. I'm so happy because this works out so well. Thank you for joining me, and see you soon.